Hi, so today I'm going to be covering some questions that people in the Scalers community have been asking. Every month we do this and I'll try and answer all the questions. If I can't, I'll pull in an expert to answer them. The questions are going to be on productising, getting clients, processes, SOPs, productivity, ads, niching down, creating an offer. And this month we've had quite a few questions, so I'm just going to go in and answer these off the cuff. This is the first time I'm reading them properly. So I've got nothing prepared. I'm just going to sort of riff off these questions. So, hi Joe, how do you do SEO for a client without being familiar with their website CMS? This is from Philip Neuro. A lot of SEO isn't really CMS dependent, in my opinion. Obviously, there's little things you can do in WordPress, for example, like plugins. Some CMSs are a nightmare to work with, like Squarespace, but there's ways around that. I think it's just a case of using the fundamental knowledge of SEO. You've got to have keywords in the title tag. You've got to have your H1s, H2s. You've got to have the content, which is good user experience. You've got to know all that kind of stuff. CMS particulars, I think you can learn that, or you could pull in kind of like experts off Upwork or Fiverr if you need something doing custom. But for the most part, once you've done the on-site stuff, which is usually a one-time thing, SEO is more about the promotion of those pages and the promotion of the website as a whole, building authority. It's less about the particulars of a CMS. So I would just revisit the fundamentals of SEO and make sure you can do that with the CMS on offer. It shouldn't be much of a stumbling block. I don't think there's any CMS out there which can't rank unless there's something so crazy about it. There's ways of making every CMS rank, and you just got to find the right experts. Upwork is only a click away from finding the right person. You can put a job on Upwork today, and you'll get an expert within an hour on who can fix your problem. So you've got these at your disposal. Jack O'Connor asks, your time management task allocation framework, clearly a productivity machine. So personally, I have a Trello board which basically has like all my kind of projects on there long term. It's not very organized, like in terms of all these automations and projects nested in bigger projects and stuff like that. It's basically just I've got a list for home, a list for Fat Joe, a list for side hustles, a list for fitness, and then what I do, I add a card for every project that's kind of ongoing. These aren't tasks necessarily, they might be, but they're just kind of like reminders of things that I'm kind of looking at now or in the future. And that's kind of like my second brain, that's like my long-term brain. And then in an Apple Notes file, I'll have what am I doing today. So when I want to sort of decide what I'm doing the next day, I look at my Trello board, I look at what's going on as a big picture, and then I pull out certain tasks or certain projects and I put them onto what am I doing today. I think a key to this is always planning your day the night before. Plan 3 tasks. Don't give yourself more than 3 tasks. Give yourself something to do for your business. Give yourself something to do personally. Give yourself something to do for your relationship or side hustle. Just pick 3 things in 3 different areas and focus on them. Keep doing that every day consistently. You're going to get a lot further than trying to get so much done in one day or 1 week and burn out. So yeah, I have like a second brain, which could be Trello, could be, if you like, Google Drive or ClickUp or whatever. Just keep everything stored in a big picture document, and then move stuff day by day into your daily notes. I use Apple Notes because it's just so accessible. You open your phone, you can click notes, you can see it within seconds. Every other app seems to have a bit of a lag. So yeah, I'll use them. What's your process of training new team members, and how do you confirm if they are ready to work on main products or not? So we have a huge SOP database. And when new starters come, they go through every SOP in the database and they do every task at least once. And any they they're unsure about, they redo those tasks until they're completely sure of everything, and then they move on to their role. So it depends on the job as well. You know, if we've got someone starting in marketing who does social media, they're not going to do a lot of the other stuff. In fact, Joe or our agency, you know, so they're just going to be focused on what their job is. They're ready to work on main projects, I think, once they've done the tasks in a safe environment multiple times and it's been assessed and everything, and then you move them on to the real world stuff. So, hey Joe, I run a content focused SEO agency serving D2C e-com companies doing 20 plus million in rev. That's a great ICP. We currently only sell monthly retainers. I'm looking to offer some productised services this year to the same market. My goal is to have a simple way for clients to get started with us and then whale them into larger projects. So I do have a productisation guide in the classroom, but so what you should do is take your service and think what parts of your service can be defined with a start and end date. You know, and I'm not talking like a start and end date that's months or years, a start and end date that's more so weeks. So you're a content focused SEO agency. So if you split that up into the tasks, you might have keyword research, you might have topical maps, you might have a piece of content, you might have link building, you might have on-site optimization. I've just named 5 there that you can split away from your retainers and say, look, we can just do this once, we can do this once, we do this once, and it costs this much. It's a lot easier to sell. You can run ads to it and get sales online. And yes, you can convert them into long-term paying customers on your retainer. If you're a content-focused SEO agency, a really good one I think would be like some kind of topical map content plan, because it's almost like a pre-sell to your bigger service. You're saying, look, we can create all these pieces of content for you. They will get this much traffic. You can use us, we'll create it and we'll optimize them, or you can do it yourself. It's up to you. So content plan or topical map kind of service would be great for productize. How to productize content link service without becoming a full service bespoke SEO agency. Like in the previous question, take a full consulting retainer and break it apart into tasks. So normally you have keyword research, on-site optimization, content writing, link building. You might have like digital PR or something else, optimizing old pages. So break it apart and look at what you can do individually as a project and sell that, you know, in a shop format. How to find your USP in a crowded market, example, link building vendor. So I've spoken about this a few times before. Link building and content writing and all these kind of things get commoditized because everyone just offers them. Some are bad, some are good, some are in between, a lot are in between. So what is a USP? Well, a USP is, I think, when you commoditize something, like McDonald's are not doing anything special. McDonald's are doing burgers and chips, same as every other burger van or restaurant or fast food joint. But what McDonald's are doing, what their USP is, they create an experience. They've got Happy Meals, they've got toys for kids, they've got a playground on the restaurant. They create a big experience around it. They make it really easy to order. It's like, do you want a meal with that? Do you want fries with that? Do you want to make it supersized? It's like so productized and easy. So the USP is around the experience. When something's commoditized, you've got to create USP around the experience, and I think brand plays a big part in it as well. Like having some kind of brand that is bigger than the product. It's hard to articulate what that means, but I think people like to be associated with certain brands because of the way it makes them feel, or the way the way it makes other people perceive them by being associated with it. So there's a lot of things, that go into that branding. But I think the main one, especially in like link building, is looking at experience. Hey Joe, this is from Samuel Hill. Hey Joe, I know we side the business side. I know we see the business side of your life, but none of your lifestyle. That's quite personal. So my lifestyle, I live in Spain, and obviously I run Fat Joe, and I do a lot of gym workouts and exercise, and I like going to, restaurants and seeing friends, that kind of thing. Just normal, really. Nothing too weird about it. Get up at a normal time. I don't do any of these crazy cold plunges or anything like that. I try to work 6-7 hours a day, just because I want to. I'm doing quite a fair bit with personal brand as well as Fat Joe, so it does take up a fair bit of time, but I am enjoying it. And I think that's pretty much it, really. If you want to know anything specific, I'm happy to share. Cyril Van Este says, thanks again for your replies on my previous post. I was wondering if you could cover an example of a combined offering. Specifically, I offer a tiered set of services for productised website management and SEO. Basic plan, standard plan, premium plan. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what to include as part of a productised offering like that. How to properly subcontract the deliverables. How to effectively pitch this to my target audience without a dedicated marketing team. Okay, so let's just take a look at this quickly. So it's, so this is maintenance, and it looks as though you've already kind of productized it. So maintenance, WordPress maintenance, optimization services. So we'll take care of your website maintenance. I don't think this is specific enough. Maintenance is a very defensive word, and ranking and scaling are very offensive. They're very people want to do one or the other. I think it's hard to mix these together. You have productized these, you've got these in packages which dare to grow, dare to rank, dare to scale. I'm not sure if these are very different from each other. Dare to grow, is that much different to daring to scale? If you want to go down this route of maintaining and optimizing, I would potentially pick one or the other for this. I'm just looking at your main website. So Dare to Cloud, empower your website. So you're doing website services. Obviously going for local businesses or small businesses that want to look after the website, but also do some SEO strategy. I'm not sure there's a good combination with maintenance and SEO. I would consider splitting these out and doing SEO separate to the maintenance stuff. I think anyone who wants to do updates, backups, this is kind of a website design. If you design a website for a local business, then you kind of build that into a monthly cost with the hosting. That's kind of a hosting thing. To me personally, I might be completely wrong, and you might have studied this a lot more than me. But I would separate your offering into, if you want to go full hosting and web design. Do you do web design? I'm not sure you do web design. Oh yeah, you do. You do web design. So I would think about splitting your website into a couple of different areas. I'd have your web design and maintenance as one thing. So when you design a website, do the maintenance. Someone who's already got a website, I'd find it unlikely they'd come to you to kind of maintain it. But I know you are grouping in with this like light website edits. Yeah. Okay. This is a strange one. Looking at this closely, I would think the maintenance is one thing, and your optimization growth is another thing. And what I'll do is offer, if you're offering an SEO service, call it that. People are looking for that, people want that. But in actual fact, what small businesses, like, it looks like you're going after, actually, what they actually want is clients and leads. So, your language should be more about getting the clients, getting the leads. And you can even incorporate Google Ads into that as well, which gets faster results, happier clients, and they stay on longer. I'm just not sure that these fit in with these bits. Bespoke engineering team, it's just, I think there's just a disconnect between maintenance and growth of SEO. I'd stick to one or the other. And how to productize those? Well, with the maintenance stuff, that's just ongoing stuff. You're gonna maintain the website. You'll do the website edits. I don't know the difference between light and unlimited. I would maybe put a number on this. I would just call it, I'll just call it unlimited minor website edits or something like that, because you'll do you'll kind of like change some words or remove pictures or add a form or whatever. And then on this one, it looks like, you'll do more things, like add a e-commerce plugin or something. I don't know. How to productize these? Looks like that maintenance bit is quite easy. The growth stuff, you can productize it with the amount of directories, the amount of links you build as well, and the amount of content, extra content that goes on the site, because we all know, you need more content, more chances of ranking. So that would be my, sorry that if I've kind of, ripped apart your offer there, but I think you should really consider breaking these apart, because maintenance is very defensive and growth is very offensive. So that putting those two in one package is going to be a disconnect for customers. Like I said, you might have studied this more than me, and that's the way you want to go, and that's fine. This is just from me looking very quickly at it. Daviander Thakur, getting clients and niching down. So getting clients, we've got lots of stuff in the classroom if you have a look in there, but I recommend starting with ads if you've got the budget. If you haven't, cold email. You can build a personal brand on social media. All of these are great ways to get clients. And niching down, pick a niche that you've worked in before. Maybe you've had a career in a certain industry, and you think, I know a bit about that industry. I'm going to do marketing for funeral directors, or I'm going to do marketing for skateboard shops, or whatever it might be. Take a look at how many businesses there are in the particular niche you want to serve, and run the numbers. If you get 1% of those, is it a viable business? You can get the numbers from Google. Just put how many funeral parlours are there in UK or US, and it'll tell you. It might be wrong, but it's all we've got. So go from these broad strokes, look at 1% of that market, your total addressable market, and see if the numbers work for you. Paul M says, monthly reporting, communication, client retention. So monthly reporting, people think that putting loads of effort into how a report looks and using all these data studio things and pulling all these automations and making it look really pretty is how to make good reports. Good reports remove all the crap that your customers don't want to see. So you need to, a good report would just be like 4 bullet points of the KPIs that they're important to them. So like number of customers gained from, if let's say this is SEO, number of customers from SEO, organic revenue, organic traffic minus brand. These are your KPIs. These are like the things that these are the things that are important to them. Has it improved on last month? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then on a separate line, the things you did that month. So we did 4 blog posts. You can compare it to what you promise you're going to do and then what you actually did. So we did 4 blog posts, even though we only said we do 2 a month. We landed 40 links, even though we said we'd only promised 10 links. We optimized this page and this page and this page. So you give your KPIs, the measurements of success, and then your inputs, what you did. The reason why I give both is that sometimes the measurements won't be as high as they should be, or they might be lower than expected, but at least you've got the inputs. And that is, look, we're doing everything every month because we've got a theory, we've got a hypothesis that if we do these inputs on a long enough time scale, these numbers, these KPIs are going to go up. And I'd just put that on a Google Doc with a Loom video going over it. That's it. You don't need to give big spreadsheets or all these graphs, charts. Business owners don't care. They don't care what SEO is. They don't care what DR is. They don't care what a backlink is. They don't care that you've got trust flow of 4 or whatever. They don't care that you've outreached to X amount of people. They care about the end results. They care about are you doing stuff for the money we're paying you, obviously, but the results is all they care about. So just report on those, give a Loom video and just be honest. Obviously you can do a live Zoom video, but again, people like, business owners are busy. People like just seeing things in a very quick document. They can just tick off and say that's running smoothly, on to the next task. They don't want to have to schedule meetings with their every vendor they're working with. How to productize ads. So there is a business that do this quite well. There's a couple. So there is one in Scalers. If you speak to Davor, he does speak quite a lot in here. Let me just try and find his website. This would probably be a good example on how to productize ads. I've seen a few, but this is probably the best one that I've seen. So basically, let's get to a page. So look, we've broke it up, or they've broke it up, should I say, into individual tasks. So you've got an audit, 297, tracking, 397, web analytics, 597, and then Kickstarter. I'm just trying to see what this is. Okay, so Kickstarter is 697. This is literally you pay once and they do the ad account structure, setup of fixes. Start now. You can literally buy it online. You get all these additionals as well if you want. So great way of productizing it. Growth Engine, I think, is a monthly. Yeah. So you've got monthly spends there with add-ons. So have a look at this website, Advertical. Have a look at that, and that is a great example of how to productize paid. So Leo says, would love to get insight on some of the tools you guys are using for service delivery and managing teams. So we've got a custom tool. We've got custom CMS, custom CMS, but an ordering system. But if I was to start over today, I'd use SPP, Service Provider Pro. The founder is in this group. His name's Chris Willow, I think. And chat to him if you need anything, any questions. There's also Agency Handy. The guy is in here as well. I can't remember his name. Agency Handy or SPP. Have a look at those. Managing the team, we just use Google Hangouts, and we have groups for each individual team, and we use Trello boards. Most effective strategies to consistently get clients for a new agency. So ads, cold email, personal brand, and once you've got a website, you can really focus on the SEO and organic, but really ads is the main one to get consistent clients. If you were to create a roadmap of productising services, where would you start and why? Which areas are the most difficult to standardise for an agency that isn't niche down? Is it possible to productise efficiently when being technically a jack of all trades? So if you want to productise services, like I said earlier, take your big retainer, take all the tasks you do, and look at them like individual projects. So, for example, if it's SEO, or let's just say it's marketing, maybe. You might have some individual tasks for a client, which might be keyword research, it might be doing a topical map, it might be doing creatives for them, it might be doing social images for them, it might be creating social posts for them if you've got like a social media service. There's a lot of separate little projects that you're doing that you could break apart into individual services with a start and an end date. Then look at the inputs needed to complete that project. For example, for creative, for social, you might just need, right, what are the posts that you're doing? That's it. And then you're going to create, what's the style that you want? Now then you can create the creative from that. So it's taking all of that, put it into projects. Can you sell it as an individual service? Do people want it as an individual service? And then put it on your website. If you're a jack of all trades, it still can work. It helps if you're a niche, because I just think it always helps. But yeah, breaking apart those services. Which areas are the most difficult to standardise? The areas that are most difficult to standardise is anything that's subjective. So things like video and design are so hard because they're just so subjective. What one person thinks is good design, 100 other people think it's bad. There's just so many variables with it. So you have to the way we get around it is we are so minimal with our design services. Like, we just do the bare minimum. We include the brand colours, and we include some kind of graphical elements, but we don't really go overboard, so it's not really a style. We just take it from their website and we kind of add minimal variants to it. That's with our video services and infographic design services. So we have to make it kind of standard, even with things that are subjective. So I hope that covers all your questions, and thanks. This is the longest one we've done. Maybe next time I'll break the questions up into separate videos. I don't know what you think about that, but I hope this was useful anyway, and I'll see you for the next one.